What's up guys, Houndish here, and today we've got lots of Destiny 2 Splicer season stuff to talk about. And so we're jumping in with news updates. Bungie gave us info on a bunch of issues this season. Of course, yesterday was a bit of a server washout. Hopefully all of that's going to improve, but there are other things to be aware of. Additionally, we're going to talk about Vault of Glass spoils chests, hidden exotic rewards, challenges, and more. Plus, we have new weekly quests, one of which suggests we'll be fighting Courier this season. And so that's going to be very interesting. But we'll also touch on hidden loot quests, reward keys, and then all of the new aspects and fragments, and other key Season 14 details. So we've got some cool stuff to touch on in this video, and I hope you guys dig it as always, but now let's get going. And of course, yesterday was a bit of a rough launch for the season of the Splicer. On top of a series of server issues, Bungie helped it actually bring Destiny 2 offline for emergency maintenance. Hopefully all of that's going to be getting a bit better today. But in other news, players have been reporting issues with Pinnacle power rewards, and DMG said, "We've identified an issue where some activities are advertising Pinnacle drops when they no longer reward them. Deepstone Crypt should be granting app power rewards at this time, and Vault of Glass will be granting Pinnacle power raid drops once it goes live. We're currently investigating alternate Pinnacle sources dropping items below expected power, and players have reported things like the 8 bounty reward for the Splicer servitor not dropping at Pinnacle even though it says it's going to. So for the moment, that's just kind of unfortunate, and we'll have to wait for Bungie to get a fix. With other server issues going on, players have noticed that removing friends from your friends list can actually be a bit of a workaround, but DMG pointed out it is in no way intended to be seen as a solution. So they're working on all of that stuff. Also, players have pointed out that Guardian Games winners haven't been properly recognized going into the season, so we've got the Titan statue in the tower once again, despite the fact that the Hunters actually got the win. Certainly some weirdness going on right there. Other players have reported being able to pull repeatable bounties from vendors, and it taking the glimmer costs to actually pick them up, but not actually giving us bounties once we've acquired 5 of them. So be aware there's some bugginess going on right there. And also Cosmo said that they're seeing reports that some players are able to get a sneak peek at crossplay. So it is kind of live, although it's very buggy, and he says it isn't meant to be live yet, and this isn't a representation of the full experience. So they're going to be implementing a fix to remove public access later this week. So those are just a few of the top issues going into Season of the Splicer right now, and I'll keep you posted when Bungie have additional info. Here though, let's speak about Vault of Glass loot a little bit. So we've got some new bits of information. Yesterday, we spoke about some of the weapons, including Vex Mythoclast, which is now going to have an alternate firing mode where you can hold the trigger to charge up and fire more powerful linear fusion shots. That'll be pretty cool. However, we do have some other drops for the Vault of Glass. So initially, there is the Vault Strider, the new exotic ship, and this is listed as a master difficulty drop in one of the collections. There are also some of the different emblems, so we've got Exotemporal, which is going to be the 24-hour Vault of Glass challenge emblem right there, as well as Infinite Reflections, which as far as we can tell is just a completion emblem for Vault of Glass. There will also be the Throne of Atheon exotic emote, which is curious. Maybe a little bit like the Callous one from Spire of Stars. And something else worth noting about Vault of Glass is that there are going to be spoils chests like what we see with Deepstone Crypt. So we can see Atheon spoils. This cache has a chance to reward Chest, Helmet, Praedyth's Revenge, Corrective Measure, and Heathen Vengeance. There's going to be one for Conflux, Oracles, Gatekeeper, and Templar as well. And so there is a kind of full predictable loot table, with the Cache of Kabir being the kind of final vendor cache for after we've completed the raid. And so just a few interesting details right there about the Vault of Glass return. And if you want more info about the weapons from VOG, I'll link my video from earlier on, which has a breakdown of all of the weapons from the season. Moving on though, for Season of the Splicer content, much like what we saw last season, it appears that we're going to get weekly quests. Players have pointed out that for the 8th weekly quest right here, Path of the Splicer, there's a step to destroy Courier in Expunge Delphi on Europa, and of course that's going to be the weekly mission we get. And of course Courier, or the Dreaming Mind, is a Vex Axis Hydra that was manifested by the Vex to try and conquer Oryx's throne world. And then of course Courier was gifted to Savathun and has been instrumental in the curse on the Dreaming City. So a lot of stuff going on there. Of course it could mean more Dreaming City content, potentially breaking the curse is obviously going to be part of the story leading into the Witch Queen. And so right there, it looks like we are going to be getting 8 weekly missions for the season. But also we'll see additional key codes, kind of like the ones we have in the Splicer Gauntlet for the Override mode. These will be used to unlock corrupted Conflux chests in Expunge Missions. So the first Expunge mission should be kicking off next week, and I'll keep you posted about it. Players have reported some interesting things in the world. such as oracles and a conflux in Kingship Dock on the Tangled Shore. Perhaps this could be linked to some of those upcoming weekly missions, or indeed a potential hidden quest for the season. We'll simply have to wait and see. But to finish right here, let's speak about new aspects and fragments. So initially there is the Diamond Lance for Behemoth Titans, and it allows us to shatter or defeat targets with stasis in order to create a stasis lance. And you can shoot to throw the lance and freeze targets on impact, or melee to slam the lance into the ground and freeze targets in a small area. There's also Glacial Harvest for the Warlocks, and freezing targets with stasis creates shards around the frozen targets, with higher tier combatants creating more shards. Then we also have Touch of Winter, and your Glacier, Duskfield, and Cold Snap grenades have enhanced functionality. Glacier Grenade adds stasis crystals and changes to the formation. The Duskfield Grenade increases slow field size and creates small stasis crystals on impact. And then the Cold Snap Grenade Seeker travels farther, faster, and chains one additional time. Then there are the new stasis fragments. So Whisper of Rending allows kinetic weapons to do increased damage to stasis crystals and frozen targets. Whisper of Hunger increases the melee energy gained from picking up stasis shards. Whisper of Rhyme allows collecting a stasis shard to grant a small amount of overshield. This falls off after 10 seconds, but collecting additional shards adds to the overshield and refreshes the timer. And then there is Whisper of Conduction, where nearby stasis shards track to your position. All of these are acquirable via the quests that we get from this stranger on Europa, so as always, give us any of your thoughts about those. And finally, just wanted to mention that the Black Armory Forge shaders are once again available when you delete Black Armory armor that's dropping in the world. So if you missed out on any of those before or didn't collect them during the Black Armory, then we are able to acquire the various different shaders from Black Armory armor that is currently dropping in the world. But for today, guys, that is what we have to round up in this news video. So as always, I hope it has been interesting. Let us know your thoughts on the launch of the season down below and your experiences with the content so far. But if you have enjoyed this video, a rating really does help us out on the channel. And also feel free to get subscribed and I'll keep you posted with more D2 season of the Splicer content. But for now, whatever you get up to, I hope you have an awesome day.